Hello, YouTube. Well, I'm sure you notice I haven't been really any vlogs today. Just me slowly uploading stuff from the wee hours of the morning. So, yeah, today ended up being a pretty dysfunctional kind of non-day. Yeah, after the wee hours of the morning stuff, I did return home and give Priscilla a ride to her surgery, her eye surgery. Oh, I should probably say with a date and time, huh? It's August 19th, 2021, Thursday evening, 7:33. So I'm on my way from dropping Priscilla off with some friends that are going to try to take care of her since she's kind of post surgery, and obviously I can't be home to be her nurse. So yeah, anyway, I'm headed from there to yeah, go ahead and turn in front of me, dude. That's just fabulous. Thank you. Yeah, I'm on my way to Bullocks. I'm gonna do my Thursday karaoke show. Kind of groggy and kind of out of it, so hopefully I can just get in a better space between here and there and starting the show. As much as I love that show, I fear it's kind of turning into how Gilligan's and Castaways was, just because I feel like I'm so down in general with my life that I'm having trouble being the up entertainer persona I need to be when I do the show. I don't remember the details of last week's show. I just remember last week's show was bad. I did actually yesterday talk with Bree, the bartender who's kind of like the manager there, about it. She's manager-esque. I don't know the whole structure of who's in charge of who there. I really don't. I just kind of do my own thing. But anyway, yeah, that's me in almost every job I've ever had. I never understand. I just kind of do what I do and hope that I don't get let go for not understanding things that I should understand. But I try to do what I do well, and I don't feel like I did last week. But she was like, "No, you're okay." It's like the music was going. That's the important thing. So, which is good, I guess. Wow, pretty sunset tonight. Kind of felt like I was leaving a little bit later than I should, but I don't recall there still being sunset happening when I did this drive last week, so I guess I'm doing all right. Oh, time-wise, it's 7:37 right now. Yeah, I was trying to get Priscilla out. You know, I told her I'd give her a ride over to her friend's place, and trying to get her out the door, and she's like, "Well, can you call her and have her order me a sandwich from the bar?" She's hanging out at a bar, and I'm like, "Well, sure." And I call, and she doesn't answer. And I told her, I said, "Why don't you call her?" She said, "Well, I have trouble dialing my phone." "Well, bring me your phone, I'll dial it." I said, "But every time I call her, she never answers." And of course, she didn't answer. So I guess she ended up calling her on her own phone, and she did text me, and say that that she was putting in her order, and then she would text me back as soon as she had the sandwich and was headed home, so I could drop her off there, drop Priscilla at her friend's apartment. And oh, look, this guy has no headlights on, or no headlights or taillights on. Yeah, passing on the right. Oh, anyway, she just now texts me. Finally, just now texted me back. "Yeah, I'm driving, so I can't respond to you. Sorry." No, I told Priscilla, it's like, I really need to get going. And she's like, "Well, you're just selfish. You're just selfish." And I'm like, no, I really have to be to work. How is it selfish for me to want to be to work? Selfish of you to want me to be late for work ride someplace that's, you know, when waiting on a sandwich from a bar. Anyway, these are the things that just drive me nuts. It's more than anything, I really want to live alone so I don't have to be held back by other people's bullshit. Anyway, this is turning into one of those negative rides with no, trying to be positive, but I'm looking back on today, and the Redditor I'm doing the exchange of the tape deck with, once again, I was supposed to mail that on Monday, and now it's Thursday, and I still haven't managed to get him photographs of it. My iPhone just does not take pictures of that kind of thing in anything less than daylight, and as you see, I've missed my daylight today. Of course, I had to deal with one of my life enemies. Oh, yeah, go ahead and cut me off. Go ahead and cut me off. Thanks, guy. Oh, to drift over 2 lanes. Your pre-planning is awesome. So, yeah, no, today I had to deal with one of my natural enemies, which is intense migraine. And I feel it's probably self-induced by just, bad diet, bad sleep habits. But yeah, so I was up, as you saw in my vlogs, I was up all night just, walking along the canal because I really didn't want to go home because I was frustrated with the situation at home. But I did promise her that I would take her to her, I did promise Priscilla I would take her to her surgery, which I did, and I told her I would. Oh yeah, go ahead and fly across numerous lanes of traffic. You rock. And this guy on the right has no lights on his trailer. Yeah, that's safe. It's another day of, problem vehicles on the I-10. Welcome to Phoenix. Anyway, so yeah, I told her I'd get her there, and I did. And I had kind of put this plan together. Like, she had told me what time her surgery was going to start and what time her surgery was going to end. So I kind of had this plan together that I was going to drop her off, and then immediately head home, get a little nap, and then head up and meet the AV guy at the bar in North Scottsdale at 9 a.m. like I was, like a plan. That was what my schedule was, what I'm supposed to be doing for my career, my life. And then basically spend like a half hour with him-ish, and then like basically Priscilla wait in the waiting room there until I can get back to get her, unless she can find another ride. Because supposedly she's got so many friends, like she's on Facebook and Instagram 24/7. So where are those friends with the ride, right? And she's got this great, I got a college degree job, so isn't that job paying? You got a college degree job that you went to school for 4 years for. Are you telling me that college degree job doesn't pay enough money for you to take an Uber or a Lyft? And you've got medical insurance. Why doesn't it provide transportation? Most medical insurance does. And I'm just wondering, like, does it? She's just not bothering. She figures, that I'll drive her. I don't know. The whole situation is frustrating, though. So anyway, I was told that I would just be dropping her off. I would be taking her there and dropping her off. So which to me means I open the door and see you bye and then drive off. But I ended up, she's like, well, you need to come in and sign some paperwork. I'm like, what? So I ended up going in there. I ended up wasting like 20 minutes that I don't get back in the lobby of this medical office that makes me put on a mask. So, I'm immediately not comfortable. Which is bullshit, because the only two people in the room were her and I. So what's the point of us having a mask in this room? We're not around any strangers. Like, it's just nothing. It's just bullshit, completely pointless. So, wow, these guys are driving like complete idiots, and as a result, I'm doing 25 miles per hour on the freeway. Lane changes are hard. Oh my gosh. So I'm having trouble keeping my train of thought with all these bad drivers. So yeah, I'm in there for quite a while, and the nurse finally comes out to take her in, and she's asking me like all these questions that I felt were overreaching and personal. To be honest, like, you know, I'm not going to go into details on the question, but seriously, like, it's not my appointment. It should be none of your fucking business who I am. You're not respecting my right to privacy. All right, I'm following another vehicle driving on the freeway with no lights on. I mean, I can kind of see them, but yeah, come on, dude. Taillights, headlights. Yeah, at least he's got brake lights. Has he noticed his headlights are off yet? Nope, he hasn't. All right, let's see how long it takes for this guy to discover how headlights work. Still hasn't noticed he's driving with no headlights. Yo, buddy, it's dark. Blinking mine behind him. He's just completely oblivious. I cannot wait to get around this guy with no taillights on. And presumably, yeah, no headlights. Just driving down the freeway at night, no lights. And a Beamer, no less. It's got daytime running lights. Which I guess is better than no lights at all in the front, but I feel like that's kind of the danger of daytime running lights. Is sometimes people see some light in front and they're like, oh, my headlights are on, but they're not. They're daytime running lights and they're not as bright as headlights should be. Anyway, I threw my whole train of thought off again. So I'm there and I feel like I'm being asked invasive questions. And the one that absolutely killed me was, well, what's your relationship to the patient? Yeah, that relationship has been so contentious. And she looked at me with this look. I looked back at her, and I turned, you know, and at that point, I'd been sitting there for 20 minutes. I'm pretty pissed off. And I've answered more questions than I want to answer. And from what I was told, I shouldn't have even had to go in that building. But now I've been in that building with a mask on for 20 minutes, and now I'm asking personal questions. So I was like, apparently chauffeur. So I saw the form. At one point she made me sign the form, and I saw she wrote driver relationship. So yeah, granted that was kind of a dick move, but I'm just, you know, so was making me come in there for 20 minutes after I told her, you know, that I had a very tight schedule and things I needed to get done that were far away from home, and that you know, at some point I needed to get a little bit of sleep, and I was hoping I would be able to, you know, spend those 20 minutes driving home and get home before traffic kicked up. And this is like 6:40 in the morning, you know, so I'm potentially battling traffic. And then I'm nauseous from not eating. It's been my theme of this week, is me not eating because I don't ever have any damn cash in my pocket. And it's just too disgusting at home to prepare any food because all her stuff is everywhere. I was gonna say so my plan was to hurry up and just get home, get like maybe a couple hour nap in, and then hit the road and go up at, you know, meet the AV guy at the bar at 9 o'clock. Well, and I forget exactly what time she told me that she would be done and need me to come back there. But I did explain to her, you know, that, hey, you know, for me to make this work, I could drive you back, but I'm going to need to, you know, you're going to have to wait in the waiting room for a while until I'm done with work up north, and then I'll come straight back. Well, that's, you know, the clinic's like, well, we'll call you 30 minutes, you know, before she's ready to go, and, you know, so when you get there, we can bring her right out to you. And maybe I should have stood up then and said, you know, I'm probably not going to be able to come there. She's going to have to wait in the waiting room for me to show up. You know, until I can get there. But at this point, I just want to be the hell out of that waiting room. You know, like, yeah, whatever. And they, see, I'm like laying in my bed. Because I was stuck there for like 20 minutes, and ended up making the drive back take longer because it was, you know, it was later in the morning and there's more traffic. And I ended up getting home, and I'm just like, I'm tired, but at this point it's so late I can't go to sleep, or I'm not going to wake up and make my appointment. So I'm farting around on Reddit for maybe 20 minutes just to kind of stay awake and not doze off, because I've God knows I've done that, where I've just sat down and I'm tired and then I doze off and everything I need to get done that day doesn't get done because I dozed off just kind of waiting for time to pass. So I'm farting around on Reddit, and it's right around the time that I would need to, around the time I would need to head up to, start driving towards the bar. Not quite, but close. And I get the call from the clinic. So, I mean, this is... I wasn't told before when I agreed that I would give her the ride that it was going to be that short. Like, at that point, it was like, what was the point of even me driving home with it and wasting a lot of gas? I don't know. I'm just so irritated with the whole damn thing. But so I ended up, driving there, and I still ended up having to sit and wait for them to bring her out. And I really struggle with remembering stuff, so I have this piece of paper that I've wrote all my notes regarding my new karaoke gig on. Well, I had to move stuff to make room for her to sit in my car, which I don't have passengers in my car. That is space where I keep things that I need to keep my life straight. And now I moved that paper, and I don't know where that paper is. So I've lost all my notes regarding my new karaoke gig, which is just terrifying to me. Because now I don't have my notes. I don't, I've lost crucial memories that are needed for me to make this work. But I know I ended up messing up that appointment, 9 a.m. I was supposed to be here 9 a.m. sharp so now I'm off that page. I'm off the page. Yeah, some audio video consultant I've turned out to be. So I finally get her home, and she's like, as we're on our way there, I'm like, she asked, hey, well, did you make it? Did you handle what you had to take care of at the bar? I'm like, no, you kind of stepped all over my schedule. It's 9 o'clock right now. I should be there right now. And she's like, oh. I said, yeah, I guess I'm just going to have to send him a message and let him know that I'm a flake and wasn't able to make it. And hopefully he'll understand. Thanks for making me a flake. Anyway, she didn't really say much about it, but there's hardly anybody here tonight, which is good. I kind of want to be alone right now. Give me some pizza, some food in my belly so I can feel better, and actually have a couple of Cokes. I think some caffeine will help wake me up. So yeah, I ended up, going to sleep after that. I was just so absolutely exhausted. I went to bed. So, God, I feel like death. So anyway, I went to sleep. I ended up massively oversleeping to the point where I don't know what hours this guy, I don't forget his name because I don't have the paper with his name on it. But the AV guy, I don't know what kind of hours he takes, but even when he had asked me to kind of get a hold of him earlier than 9 a.m. and I didn't want to make any promises earlier than 9 a.m. just because that's really, really early in my world. I'm generally not up until around noon because I'm working until 3 in the morning. So but I figure anyone that starts work that early is probably, done. Sayonara, doesn't want phone calls, business related after 5 p.m., possibly sooner. So, by the time I woke up, it was way too late for me to try to reconvene and do anything with him. So I'm like, well, that didn't work out. When I did text him, I had asked him, to give me another time that would be good to, and he was like, well, that's okay, but he didn't mention a time. So, which is fine, because if he mentioned a time, I probably would have ended up not making it. Because I have so many distractions from my own life that I can't seem to manage my own life. sick of them. Totally sick of them. Oh my gosh, so what did I do? Anyway, I haven't texted him back. By the time I got up, I had just this unbelievable migraine headache, and I took a couple of migraine pills and went back to sleep. I'm not even sure what time it is. It was like mid-afternoon. Then by the time I woke up later, it was, like after, it was 6 p.m.-ish, and again, took more headache pills, which is probably closer together than I'm supposed to take them, but it's just my head hurts so bad. It's like, fuck it, I'll risk it. Fuck it. So, yeah, I still got a dull headache, but it's not excruciating. Which I've yet to have the time where I've had to cancel Bullocks due to intense migraine, but I know that day's going to come, and I don't think it's going to go over well. They don't have a replacement for me, and I don't have a replacement for me here. I leave on the jukebox, which is, I don't know, thrills and spills of my life, I guess. So, anyway, I don't know how long Priscilla's going to be staying over her friends, but kind of hoping it'll be a few days, because I need a fucking break. Holy shit, do I need a break. Yeah, I guess that's it. I feel like I'm just rambling aimlessly at this point, but, yeah, she's, yeah, so I don't know where I stand with the AV guy, or where I stand with the British Bar, or the names of any of those people, because I don't know where that paper went. I think tomorrow I'm going to have to start my day with cleaning the car and trying to find that paper, and hopefully it's in here. Hopefully it's in here. Or I'm going to end up having to just go to the bar and have this really awkward, "Hi, nice to meet you, I'm Dan." "Oh, I've already met you, remember my name?" And I'll be like, no. I don't know what that guy's story is. He just went by in the other direction. Oh, his story is he's going to the bar. Got it. Good times. Yeah, anyway, we'll deal with that tomorrow. Hopefully I can find that paper and recover that fumble. I feel like I've horribly fumbled in life with that. Oh, and Tony blew up my phone while I was knocked out with migraine. And of course, it wasn't time to deal with it today, and I'll be pressed for time to try to deal with it tomorrow. But she told me that the shelf that our TV was sitting on, trying to get everything set up on, that it collapsed. And, blah, blah, blah. Can I help her set that up? I'm like, on some days I could, but today's not one of those days. And then, of course, Priscilla in the other room overhears this conversation. She's like, "Oh, you making house calls?" And starts talking all jealous, like I'm trying to hook up with, some other woman doing a quote-unquote house call. I'm like, well, yeah, I do make appointments to help people with their AV installations in their home. That's part of what I do. She's like, well, how old is that woman? Like, I think early 80s? Mid-70s? I don't know, elderly? I'm so sick of that kind of jealousy. I'm just sick of it. Like, this was an A and B conversation you need to see your way out of. I wasn't talking to you. Just none of your fucking business. I mean, that's not what I said, but that's just what the voices in my head are screaming that I need to say. Oh, shit. I need to have a Coke and a smile, get my show set up. It's 7:57, so I'm pretty much on schedule for doing that, other than I have more stuff in my trunk that I would normally have already in the bar, because I was planning on needing those at the other bar today. Anyway, hopefully I can get my shit on schedule tomorrow. Very much looking forward to a day of handling what I need to handle without the squatter in my apartment distracting me from it. So, anyway, thanks for listening. This is probably the most boring vlog for anybody that isn't me.